Well, while all this crazy stuff has been going on with the Boston Marathon bombing and mayhem and everything else that's been going on, the Congress or the House of Representatives has managed to pass the Cyber Intelligence Sharing and Protection Act. God. And I'm going to say honestly, I could say, I don't really think I'm really all that conservative, though, to tell you the truth. I guess I lean conservative more. But, this is one time I would be like totally against the Republicans on this thing, because the Republicans voted for this damn thing. I can't believe it. These jerks just, it's like the Democratic Party is like the Communist Socialist Party, and the Republican Party is like the Nazi Party. It's like ridiculous. Fascist Party, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's like they're a bunch of control freaks. And basically it had Republicans 206 voted for it, 28 against, and Democrats 140 against it, 42 for. It's like when you get on social issues, I don't like, to get too many people on the grain dole, but as far as people's civil rights, I gotta hand it to the Democrats more. But they get too socialistic. And when I look at this bill, you know what this bill is going to do? It's going to restrict the First Amendment. I don't like when they restrict the Fourth Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Third Amendment. This is going to restrict the First Amendment. It's going to be like, whatever you say can and will be held against you, and they're going to spy on you. I mean, they're going to use your YouTube, your Facebook, everything. This is bullshit, and the freaking Republicans voted for it. This is where I have an argument, because I really, tell you honestly, I pretty much lean more conservative. But not that way. That's like fascism. That ain't, I don't know what the hell you want to call it. It's fascism. It's not, I don't know what the hell a conservative is. But what I found interesting is, I'm actually a person, I pretty much never really voted Democrat, but I pretty much can't stand a lot of Republicans too. I mean, it's really how it is. I don't like both of them, man. I just make it simple. You stick with the Bill of Rights. This violates the Bill of Rights. Now, Lindsey Williams, I was listening to Lindsey Williams, and Lindsey Williams says there's one thing the elite don't want is when the public gets really pissed off. Well, this pisses me off, but it just, anybody that was like a liberal and didn't like this, I'd be agreeing with him 110%. I sure as hell would not take the Republican side on this garbage. No way in hell. This violates the First Amendment to the max. We're going to have Big Brother spying on everything you do. This is crazy. But this is where I probably have more of a beef sometimes with the Christians too, because the Christians are very conservative usually, right? Very conservative, but it's like, I don't think they're thinking it all the way through. Depends on who it is. But we had this Boston bombing at the marathon, right? And there's 3 senators that were calling to try this guy as an enemy combatant. At first, he can't really talk because they sliced his throat. It wasn't a bullet. Actually, that was a screw-up by somebody who was talking to Anderson Cooper in an interview, one of the, Special Forces soldiers working for the New World Order, or whatever the hell he was. He was talking to Anderson Cooper, and he kind of slipped up, and he said, it wasn't a bullet wound. It was either a knife or shrapnel. And you could pretty much rule out shrapnel because there was nobody was throwing bombs at this guy or grenades, So it was a knife. And all these people behind him were looking at each other like, oh shit, he shouldn't have said that. They were doing that. So he can't talk anyway. So, it's like they're screwing this guy up as it is. They're railroading him because it looks like it's a setup. They got a couple patsies, really. I mean, he wasn't even wearing the right color backpack. It was like an off-white color, and a backpack that blew up was a black backpack. Plus, he had it with him after the explosion. I'm like, man, oh man, these guys don't even know how to pull off a freaking false flag. I don't even know why, I'm going to go off on a tangent. I don't even know why the New World Order has to pull off a false flag anyway. It's true, there are radical Muslims that hate our way of life, which is going out the door as it is, because they got tanks and stuff rolling around the street, and they can lock down Boston, and they can restrict this First Amendment, or they're trying to, But there are radical Muslims, and most Muslims aren't radical. actually, most Muslims probably don't like radical Muslims. So if the New World Order don't want radical Muslims, why the hell do they even got to play false flag? Just tell the military to go get rid of them, man. I was in the military. It's like, they tell you to get rid of somebody, you got to get rid of them. I mean, you just do it. You don't think about anything. Anyway, so what the hell's the big deal? Why have a false flag? I see this kind of shit. It's like it makes me think, what are you setting these guys up for? It almost makes, because we see right through these false flags. So it's almost like making me come to an opposite conclusion about radical Muslims. That's how stupid our elite are. I ain't for freaking radical Muslims at all. But they're so stupid. Our elite got to freaking set up all this false bullshit. And then we see right through it like it's butter. And, they're freaking coming out with all this crap like, try this guy's an enemy combatant. And the three senators that wanted to try him as an enemy combatant were Republicans. I'm thinking, this is, at one time I actually will come out and say, Obama, I don't like Obama. I think he's like maybe he's a Muslim. I don't know what he is, but I'm just kidding. I don't give a shit. To tell you the truth, I don't even care if Obama's a Muslim. As long as he sticks with the Bill of Rights, which he ain't, which is the problem. That's the problem. But you got three senators who wanted to, try this guy as an enemy combatant. Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican from South Carolina, and I'm basically a Republican. This is bullshit, though. These guys are fascist. They ain't the kind of Republican I like. Those kind are screwed up. Kelly Alcott, of Republican of New Hampshire, live free or die. We're going to. That's the state motto where he comes from, and he's like wants to try this guy as an enemy combatant. They sliced his throat. He can't talk. I mean, fuck, man, this is ridiculous. Freaking, what is this, Nazi shit? I mean, really, what is this? Is this Nazi stuff or what? I mean, really, this is, I ain't even like a liberal, but this is like ridiculous. These conservatives are freaking, they're not, whatever they are, they're freaking fascists. And John McCain, the war hero that almost blew up the freaking USS Forrestal by being a hotshot, and they had to pull him off the freaking ship because his shipmates probably would have killed him because he actually caused the whole damn thing. The USS Forest Fire, USS Forrestal. And I wonder about a lot of stuff with this guy. That guy was in charge of the POW committee. I used to read about him 2 decades ago. Stories from Michael Benz, a former POW. Basically, John McCain sold out the POWs that were remaining in Vietnam, and so business can get in there cheap. Basically, hey, we got beachfront property to timeshares. Nike Shoes can go in there and do business. Because if they didn't resolve the Vietnam veteran, the POW issue, they couldn't get in there. So McCain, good front man because he was a POW. He's a freaking sellout. Freaking Nazi fascist. That's why, I don't like Obama, but I sure as hell understand why a lot of people didn't like Bush. Prescott Bush, all in there with the freaking Nazi fascists all the way back to the 1940s and before. They're a bunch of garbage, man. And what gets me is I don't understand why these Christians don't see through this shit, man. I don't want to knock Christians too much, but you know what I mean. There's like this, it's almost like they got to go one, if they say, oh, I'm against abortion, oh, let's vote for this guy. It don't matter if he's a Nazi. He could be against abortion. Maybe he's for killing old people, Nah, he's against abortion, but I'm going to spy on you and I'm going to try you as an enemy combatant. Oh, big deal. He's a fascist. Freaking, who gives a shit if he's against abortion or not? Actually, to tell you the truth, if somebody was a politician and against abortion, they make it illegal, there's still way people can do stuff. All kinds of ways. I mean, they can take, if a woman wanted to have a miscarriage or something, she could probably take something and they have it anyway. So it's like, if you make it illegal, it's almost like it isn't going to make too much of a difference in the way, but I don't want to get off on that subject. But what I'm saying is, these Republicans, and I'm basically Republican too, basically, but I didn't vote for a Republican last time. I voted for Libertarian, Independent. I didn't even vote for my state senator as a Republican. But I kind of lean towards Republican because but not too much, to tell you the truth. But this is a bunch of BS because we got this Cyber Intelligence Sharing and Protection Act that actually passed the House of Representatives. Now it's in the Senate. The Senate's kind of like, I don't bother with it. But I'm like, good, 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 because this is dangerous. But I have no faith in Obama going and vetoing this. This guy would sign it in 2 seconds because he's Uncle Tom Obama. He is. He's bad news. This is ridiculous. Because this is basically going to take everything people do on the internet and put it into like the realm of national security. Everything that a private company has on Facebook, YouTube, or whatever, the government can look into it. It's national security. This is like the Soviet Union, man. Except it's worse because the USA has all the technology in the world. So it's BS, man. But Lindsey Williams did say something I kind of like, and I think it's true. The elite don't want backlash. When Americans get pissed off, they back off. So basically the Americans got to say, crush the elite. Eat the rich, whatever the hell it is, just squish them. Because we're sticking with the Bill of Rights all the way, man. And I don't know what's the matter with the people up in Boston, but man, they're like cheering on the Gestapo. Yeah, go USA! Holy smokes, man. Anyway, I thought that was where the revolution started from, Boston, right? And that's why they have the marathon. It actually happens when the revolution actually started, so they have it on the day the revolution really started. And I guess it's fitting that that's undoing everything what the United States stands for. This bombing, which was a false flag, whatever the hell you want to call it, it's going to lead to all kinds of stuff because, maybe these guys were terrorists on the internet, so let's have Cyber Intelligence Sharing and Protection Act. And it's a shame because you can't vote for either party. It's like the Republicans voted for this Nazi law, fascist law, and you got 3 Republicans, high up guys that had been around a long time, Lindsey Graham and John McCain and stuff. Another guy from New Hampshire, Kelly Alcott, live free or die, calling for his trial as an enemy combatant, which is crazy. It's crazy because the guy was an American, right? He's an American, and actually he wasn't the guy that actually did it. That's the other thing. And you don't really need to be very smart to figure that out because a black colored backpack blew up that had a white rectangle on the top. There was another guy wearing a backpack exactly like that, and he was running before the bomb. He was wearing it, and after the bombing the backpack wasn't on his back, but there was a black colored backpack blown up with a white triangle thing, a white rectangle on the top right where the flap was, and the terrorist that they supposedly say blew it up had a off-white colored backpack. It wasn't even the right color. And the other guy had like a grayish colored one. So, they didn't do it. They didn't do it. But these guys jerks, they cut his throat and they want to try him as enemy combatants. And it's Republicans calling for this shit. And it's Republicans actually... So in a way, even though I'm I don't know what the hell I am. I think I'm a libertarian, maybe. Maybe that's what the party I really belong to, if I belong to anything. Because I don't fit into Democrats, and I don't fit into Republicans. I just have to go with the Democrats on this damn thing. This is ridiculous. This is fascism. It's just that I'm not a communist, so I can't be a Democrat. But this is dangerous to the First Amendment rights of all Americans, this damn Cyber Intelligence Sharing and Protection Act. It's scary, man. This is worse than anything. And I actually hope like Google and YouTube protest the hell out of this crap. Because it's bad for business. It's going to limit, the fruits of the labors of all the people that put stuff out here. Because it's going to channel things into, we can only think one way. Which is going to make it actually dry and cardboardish. Like you're not going to really get the richness in the venue through the internet because people are going to be afraid to say anything controversial. Because we have Cyber Intelligence Sharing Protection Act, the government spying. I hope YouTube and Google really fights back on this stuff too, because this is wrong, and I really have to vehemently disagree. And this is where a lot of these people, sometimes I agree with these like left-leaning people. I totally agree with them on this stuff. All the way, man. I ain't for no Nazi bill like this. This is garbage. So let's just fight back hard, because the elite don't want you fighting back hard. They want to just control you. They want it easy. They don't like it when you fight back hard. Fight this back hard. This is bullshit. Really.